Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers predicted to sign veteran QB to Baker Mayfield-style contract. The Pittsburgh Steelers could conceivably start over at quarterback next offseason. Both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields will enter training camp with one-year contracts. Sports Illustrated's Connor Orr, though, doesn't see that happening. Regardless of how the 2024 season goes, Orr projected the Steelers to re-sign Fields on a 3-year contract that will be structured similar to Baker Mayfield's latest deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Fields started to really come on as a passer. He was better in 2-minute situations and still has an excellent touch on the football, wrote Orr. I think with time, effort and good coaching, he could round into a consistent top 12 player at the position. That said, he is very much a free agent at the end of this season and has what so many quarterbacks do not: incredible movement skills and the ability to accelerate any offense where the run and pass are intimately tied together. Fields averaged 6.9 yards per pass with 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions in 13 starts last season. He also had 657 rushing yards, with 4 scores on the ground and 10 fumbles. In games where Fields started, the Bears posted a 5-8 record in 2023. The Buccaneers signed Mayfield to a 3-year, $100 million contract this past offseason. The deal included a $28.875 million signing bonus and a total of $50 million guaranteed. Mayfield threw for a career-high 4,044 yards with 28 touchdowns and 10 interceptions while making the Pro Bowl during the 2023 season. Orr isn't the first to weigh in on what might happen for the Steelers behind center next offseason. Most recently, ESPN's Dan Graziano predicted on July 11 that the team will be back in the quarterback market, looking for a new starter in March. However, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac suggested before the draft the Steelers hope to sign Wilson and Fields to extensions. What they will do is, I think you will see them give Justin Fields a contract extension of at least 2 years to keep him around, Dulac said during an appearance on The Steve Jones Show, via SI.com's Stephen Thompson. They didn't bring him in for a 1-year trial. And with Russell Wilson, the idea, both from Russell Wilson's part and the Steelers' part, is that they will sign him to a longer contract this season. Whether Fields will get a Mayfield-like contract, though, will greatly depend on how he performs this season. Mayfield needed to turn in the best season of his 6-year career to land his $100 million deal. Fields is in a similar position that Mayfield was last season, a former first-round pick not guaranteed to start. But Mayfield didn't have to compete with an ex-Super Bowl winning quarterback. Wilson may not be the long-term solution for the Steelers. But the team has continuously emphasized that Wilson is in the pole position to be Pittsburgh's starter behind center in 2024. Orr admitted that it's difficult for him to get a read on Wilson and called him a complex dude. Orr also wrote that he could have one of the great post-35-years-old seasons in NFL history. But still, he predicted Wilson to play elsewhere in 2025. For his way-too-early prediction, Orr argued Wilson could be a fit for the Carolina Panthers next offseason. There's no doubt the current Panthers staff did wonders with Wilson in Seattle, wrote Orr. If Wilson can't make it work in Pittsburgh, could Carolina be an option in more of a veteran, mentoring role? It's hard to envision Wilson sitting on the bench. He has started at least 14 games every season since he entered the league in 2012. But if Wilson performs poorly enough to play his way out of Pittsburgh, then he may not have another starting opportunity next year. Steelers fans say goodbye to Bill Hillgrove as Rob King is hired as his replacement. The Steelers have had only 3 head coaches in any NFL season since 1969. Another interesting fact is that the Steelers have had only 2 play-by-play announcers, Jack Fleming and Bill Hillgrove, since 1965. For most of Fleming's tenure as the Steelers' play-by-play announcer, he worked alongside Myron Cope, his color analyst. Cope's colorful announcing occasionally stole the broadcast with his yuas and double yuas, but Fleming remained a giant in the industry. After 28 years, Jack Flemings retired in 1993, and the Steelers replaced him with Bill Hillgrove, a prominent figure in the Pittsburgh media. Hillgrove began by announcing Pitt basketball games and working as a DJ in the Pittsburgh radio market. He later became a sports anchor for WTE News and was their sports director. This transition was well received by Steelers fans, and the color analyst Myron Cope, who worked with Hillgrove at WTAE, made Hillgrove's choice perfect. Hillgrove's play-by-play calling was more vibrant than Fleming's. He would use phrases like "he got flagged for habeas corpus" whenever there was a holding penalty. What made Hillgrove special to some of us was his tendency to get emotionally involved in the games, similar to Myron Cope and his fellow color analysts, Tunch Ilkin and Craig Wolfley. For some longtime fans, being unable to listen to Bill Hillgrove anymore will be quite a change, as it marks the end of an era. We'll have to get used to a new play-by-play announcer now. The Steelers have just announced the replacement for Hillgrove, Rob King. There may have been some curiosity about Rob King when the news broke. Although he may be unfamiliar to those who don't live in Pittsburgh, he has been involved in Steelers broadcasts for 10 years and has been a prominent figure in Pittsburgh sports media for 25 years. Additionally, King is no stranger to the Steelers broadcast booth, as he has filled in for Bill Hillgrove approximately 6 times throughout Hillgrove's 30-year tenure. Although King might need to develop his own announcing style for the games, the Steelers have wisely selected Hillgrove's replacement. He will serve the Steelers effectively as their new radio voice. However, many online articles reporting the news use the cliché line that he has big shoes to fill in his latest endeavor. Perhaps that is true, but Pittsburgh sports fans are spoiled. They had the best broadcasting market across all the major sports in Pittsburgh. In football, Fleming and Hillgrove were the bedrock of Steelers play-by-play, and they had perhaps the best color analyst in the business, Myron Cope, who was generally the fan favorite in broadcasts more often than not. In baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates had the great Lanny Frater. He began as a color analyst for Milo Hamilton and would call 2 innings of a game. Steelers have leverage to steal Raiders' WR Davante Adams. The Pittsburgh Steelers roster has been set up nicely thanks to an exciting offseason from General Manager Omar Khan and Assistant General Manager Andy Weidel. However, one major concern has been the wide receiver room, especially after the team's decision to trade away Deontay Johnson. This has left pundits and Steelers fans wondering who will step up to fill the void left by Johnson. Although the Steelers have brought in several speedy wide receivers, none have instilled much confidence in fans and analysts. As a result, the Steelers have been linked to nearly every available wide receiver this offseason. The most prominent rumors have involved San Francisco 49ers star wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk recently requested a trade from the 49ers, and the Steelers are reportedly in the mix for him. However, acquiring Ayuk wouldn't come cheap. The Steelers would have to give up significant assets and be prepared to pay him top dollar in the wide receiver market. While Ayuk has garnered much attention, another star wide receiver might be a potential target, Las Vegas Raiders' Davante Adams. Adams has shown frustration with his current situation. He joined the Raiders excited to play with his former college teammate, quarterback Derek Carr. However, when the Raiders struggled during the 2023 season, Adams was less than thrilled. Although the Raiders have Adams under contract, they might be open to trading him. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Davante Adams? Leave your opinion in the comments.